Okay, firstly, I just want to say this actually took a lot of thought, and I was debating whether or not to even make this video because I technically don't know how to even begin talking about it because it's a wide collaboration of a bunch of topics we're going to be talking about here in a second. Alright, so I'm bluntslide42, and let's start with defining what gaming means to me because, well, I really haven't done much research on this subject, but I think I have enough personal experience to at least express my viewpoints, and these are my personal viewpoints, so if you wish to disagree or argue against it, that's fine, that's your viewpoint, but this is how I see my current gaming situation, how I feel about it, and more recently, some issues have cropped up where I feel like I need to talk about it now. It's been there from the very beginning, but it's become more an apparent problem, more so today than ever before. But let me first start off by defining what gaming really is to me. So the gaming medium is quite a tricky thing to define to someone because it's such a vast platform and there's so many perspectives you can take upon what a game is. Let me put it this way. If you had an option to choose for entertainment purposes buying Avatar the movie on Blu-ray or whatever it happens to be these days, DVD, you are a passive onlooker in that experience, that movie thrill-seeking experience. The movie may contain graphically enhanced eye candy, or have a good plot or storyline, or good action, or great sound, or music, or score, or acting, or all the above. But you are not partaking in creating that own experience. When you hit the play button, the same experience is transferred every time, and every time you watch it, I'm sure you'll pick up on something new, but it doesn't change. Whereas when you're playing, say, Avatar the game, which I heard got like a 7 or 7.5 for most review websites. I'm just using this as an example, but when you're playing Avatar the game, you are creating all the entertainment yourself. Every time you play the game, you have a multitude of different angles to take and approach to be playing with it. What I mean by that is you got your story mode, or campaign as it usually is, your multiplayer, your unlockables, your hidden secrets, your Easter eggs, your glitches, your cheats. You got all that stuff within the game itself. So my question to you is, which is the better entertainment value to purchase? Say if either the movie or the game were the same price, or let's just say both of them are free, but you can only choose one, would you prefer the movie or the game? I would take the game because you get a whole lot more hours of entertainment out of it than playing or just watching the movie 3 or 4 times in your entire lifetime, most likely. But that's just me. That's personal choice. That's my preference. Why am I saying this? Well, there's many genres of games available. You got your action genre, your first-person shooters, your role-playing, your racing, your fighting. You got a whole multitude of different things to choose from, as well as platformers. Now, when I was playing Mario for the Nintendo Entertainment System, I saw the game as being a challenge to beat, to get through World 8, or at least beating it twice. I didn't see it as much of an adventure. That's a very loose, or shall we say general, interpretation of the game, as calling it an adventure game and saving the princess, yada yada yada, killing the dragon at the end and getting the girl. I saw Mario as it. Even Mario had some RPG elements, if you want to consider the mushroom, the firepower, the Starman, and the 1-up. As basic as it is, or the hidden coin blocks. Yeah, even in the first Mario there were those suckers. Now why am I referencing Mario, which is a game that is nearly 30 years old? Well, now when you jump online, or not even online. Whenever you're playing any game, there's multiple reasons for you to do it. Some people do it to escape from reality. Some people do it to pass the time or entertain themselves. Some people do it to make friends. Some people want to find an engaging story. Some people do it to have fun and joke around. Some people do it competitively or trying to get a high score and rank up as high as you can. There's many approaches you can take to games. Now, what probably hasn't crossed your mind is that whenever you are comparing yourself to other gamers, yeah, there's a few other on the internet. I'm sure you'll find a couple. Actually, there's multiple thousands of gamers out there. Okay? Now, not every gamer is, how should we say, a broad or skilled player. There are what we call the Wii generation of casual gamers, if we want to stereotype them, or people who occasionally will pick up a game but not play a particularly challenging one that takes a lot of thought, a lot of puzzle solving, a lot of quick timing movements and knowing what's going on, that kind of thing. They'll try to avoid that and play something like Mario Party, where it's basically themselves versus the computer or something like that, or with friends of their same skill level. Alright, now on the opposite we have what we call the hardcore gamers, which are the people who 100% games and have a large stockpile of almost every game in existence and are collectors, and they are, I want to use the quote, skilled players, because they at least know the game inside out enough to know how much HP an enemy takes to defeat, where you find specific items, and they have this stuff memorized like the back of their hand. We could take this a little further and look at competitive gamers who do nothing but go to tournaments playing one specific game, or sometimes different genres of games, say first-person shooters and fighting games, who go to specific LAN tournaments to prove that their team is better than another team. Okay, I would consider myself closer to the hardcore group of gamers than the casual. I do it to kind of lose reality and have fun with myself. That came out sounding wrong. Not like that, guys, jeez. Let me put it this way. You can beat the campaign once, say on a game such as Uncharted 2, and it's a good enough campaign that, you know, maybe you'd want to do it again on a higher difficulty, or play through it again on the same difficulty that you did the first time. Now, the thing with Uncharted 2 is you can either choose easy, normal, or hard to begin off with your playthrough of the game. If you went out of your way to do your first playthrough of the game on hard, which is crazy, doing a blind playthrough of a challenging game, such as Uncharted 2, because you had nothing to base on determining how difficult the game would be other than, you know, what the box cover said and what the reviews said about the game. So most likely you'd be picking normal to start off with your first time, which means you're going to have to play through it on hard mode the next time. Okay, but what do? They make the platinum require that you do it on crushing as well. Holy shit balls, man. That's 3 times I gotta play the same campaign. Well, that's a lot of entertainment and gameplay, wouldn't you say? But they're kind of jerking you around, forcing you to do it if you want the platinum. But let's talk about the platinum for a little bit. What really does it mean when you platinum a title? Does it mean anything at all? Is it that important? Is it something you can brag to your friends about? Do you feel like a better person because you've earned an empty achievement? Sure, some games are easier to platinum than others. Some games make you go on a giant fetch quest to get the platinum. Some games just give you the platinum if you play through the campaign a couple times. I mean, hell, Tekken 6 is a good example there. What I'm driving at is Uncharted 2, it's not particularly a bad game choice. It's just, other than the campaign and then the online multiplayer, which is basically It's the same maps and gameplay as any of the other online games. It's just competing with the other first-person shooters. Now, I'm not saying everyone has to platinum Uncharted 2 to become a better player, but it's not as easy as you would think if you haven't done it yet. It's actually quite a it's a bitch. Quite frankly, it's a bitch. If you go by the rules and play the game fairly and don't use cheats or tweaks and you try to platinum the game, you'll discover that it is quite a bitch. Well, if you want the full value of the game, you're going to try to get that platinum though, right? I mean, it is a challenge in itself to acquire all platinums on every game that you own, correct? Or if we're talking Xbox 360, then getting the full 1000 gamer score points available